let's now interfere in this working. Let's also take a scenario where we're going to look at the memory failures issue. There's something called a set new handler. Till now, we have always taken a scenario where we are lucky that our allocation request was satisfied. We are not allocating too much of memory. So whenever you made a request, your request was satisfied. And since the request was satisfied, everything went on smooth. It may so also happen that you make a request for allocation memory and that request does not get satisfied. There is a possibility. You asked for too much of memory and now you are not left with any more memory on the heap for the allocation and the allocation request fails. Now, if your request for allocation fails, don't you want to handle that particular situation rather than program crashing? And that is something that we can do by using set new handler. So there is this function called as set new handler. So when operator new creates a new object, it calls operator new or operator new functions, depending on whether you have created an array or a single object. Either of these two functions will get called. And what will these two functions do? They will make an attempt to search for memory on the heap. Rather, they will make a request to the OS, the program memory manager, that will look onto the heap if there is enough memory available. And if memory is available, it will return you the address. But then it's C++. C++, whenever you carry out some kind of operation, it's much more safer than malloc and calloc. A reason for that is malloc, calloc returns you an address that is null in case they have failed. Operator new behaves differently. Operator new reports to you immediately that allocation has failed. It may throw an exception if you want to, or it will report you in different ways. And if that allocation fails, then you need to handle that particular situation. That means you need to tell the user you are asking for too much of memory. Either reduce your request of amount of memory that you are trying to that you have requested, then make your request a bit smaller so that that much amount of memory can be allocated. So if malloc calloc fails, they do not report you. They return you either address or null, and then we have to check if pti equal null. And unfortunately, we wrote the same code for C++. That's not the way to write the code for C++. You can relax. You can just ask a request for allocation memory, and you have to configure your program in such a way, anytime in my application, anywhere in my program, if any request for allocation fails, after every request, here, remember every example that we have done, what we have done, every time we are making a request for allocation, immediately the next statement comes, if pointer equal to null hai kya? Whether the last request for allocation has succeeded or whether it has failed. That's not the way to write the code in C++. In C++, you will not clutter your code by that conditional statement to check whether the previous request has been succeeded or whether it has failed. Request for allocation memory has succeeded or failed. You do not have to check it every time. Rather, you can design your own handler. Now listen to these words very carefully. Yeah? Handler. Handlers are specialized functions that can be invoked automatically whenever your allocation request fails. So you're going to design an architecture in such a way that if you make a request for allocation, if it succeeded, the program will continue. And for whatever reason, if it fails, some function has to be called. And which is the function that's going to get called? That is what we can specify by using this set new handler. But this set new handler, by default, takes a function whose address is 0. And there is no function whose having address is 0. That means it takes no function as a parameter. Now, for the first time in your C++ course, you're going to look at high order functions. That means a function whose parameter is a function. That means we can pass a function as a parameter to another function. So this set new handler function, when you allocate storage to create an object, and if the new handler and it calls a new handler function, if the allocation has been installed by a call to set new handler, where what happens? For whatever reason, new tries to make an attempt to allocate memory, and if it fails, so what's the default behavior? Default behavior is something different. Then it calls function unexpected calls terminate. I'm going to show you that as well. So normally when the allocation request fails, what's going to happen? It calls function unexpected call terminates, and the program terminates with an error. I would like to change that behavior. I do not want that unexpected or terminate function to get called. I'm going to show you that, don't worry. I want my own handler to get called. So I'm going to make a request for allocation memory. If it succeeds, well and good, it should proceed further. And if it fails, a handler should get called. Handler is nothing but a function wherein you have specified your piece of code. That's your handler. Let me put in different words. Handler is your response to that situation. As simple as this. So you're going to write a piece of code. That's your response to the situation. Situation kya hai? Memory failure. So if allocation of memory has failed, that's a situation, and that's an event. Let us put it in this way. That's an event, and you have a response to that event. So anytime you're in an application, anywhere you're in an application, if request for allocation fails, our handler will automatically get called. That's a function that will automatically get executed. We need not call it. The runtime system will take care of it, but provided we have set it to this set new handler function. So this set new handler function is a standard function available in header file called as new. So for the first time, we are going to use header file called as new. It is use it to call new handler you have defined or the default new handler. Okay. So you can specify your handler. Handler means your response to that particular situation. Whenever that allocation fails, that should get called automatically. And what should it do? Possibly, your request allocation has failed. And the only reason normally for failure of new is enough memory is not available. So if that situation occurs, you should make an attempt after failure. You make a request, say you made a request for allocation of 500 bytes of memory. And for some reason, 500 bytes of memory is not available. So the allocation request has failed. Now, since it has failed, what should be a response? Make that much memory available. If you can do so it can proceed further. Second is, it can just throw an exception called as bad alloc. You can handle it. Or then you can call abort or exit and stop the program, saying that you just cannot continue because memory is not available and so on. So this handler function takes an argument, which is a pointer to a function. That means I need to pass a function. And when we pass arrays, when we pass function, what actually gets passed is the address of that particular function, which has no argument return void. That's the signature of the function. So if you create your handler, how should the handler's design be? Handler should be a function without any parameter and return type should be void. Name can be anything, but signature should be the same because the pointer that is passed over here is void star FP. So I'll tell you how that pointer works. It returns a pointer to the previous new handler function. It returns a pointer to the previous new handler function. So last time which handler was called, don't worry about this. Previous new handler function means when I set a new handler, say I have two handlers, handler 1 and handler 2. I initially set handler 1 and later I say set new handler handler 2. So when I say set new handler handler 2, वो आपको देगा क्या return करके handler 1 का address, and we don't really need the previous handler and so on. If you do not specify your own set new handler function, the new throws an exception of std bad alloc. So I'll first make sure when I write this particular code, I'll show you, look at this function. There is a function called as no storage whose return type is void and does not take in any parameter. That can be a possible handler. And how do I set? I say net set new handler no storage. So like name of an array in C, C++ gives you address. Likewise, name of a function also gives you an address. So it's very simple for us to have this particular address. So address of function chahiye, just pass the name of the function. Name of the function will return you the address. So we will have the address of the function and that will work for us. So let's take an example. First, we'll make sure the program fails. We'll take a scenario where we'll see failure happens and then we'll proceed further wherein we'll handle that particular situation. Watch it. When the program runs, it should say all arrays were created successfully, continue the rest of the operation, and the program should stop. That is what we are expecting. What am I doing over here now? Okay, don't worry about this statement for a moment. What am I doing? I have a kind of an array of pointers. So I just a single pointer. Say, look, this is a single pointer. PTR is a pointer which can store address of a variable of type double. I say PTR of 5. It means we have PTR is a name of an array, and this array contains 5 variables. What type of variables? Pointer to double. So it's an array of 5 integers. Array of 5 pointer to doubles. So instead of 5, I have too many. I have 50,000 pointers. I have 50,000 pointers. Each of them is a pointer to a double. Why am I doing that? I'm going to run this particular code 17,000 times. I'm going to run this particular code 70,000 times. मेरे पास 50,000 है, but I'm going to run this code 17,000 times. 17,000 times. Yeah, let us run this particular code 50,000 times. Since we have 50,000, let's run this particular code 50,000 times. So since I have 50,000 pointers, I'm going to run this particular code 50,000 loop 50,000 times, and every time PTR of I value for the first time is 0. So PTR of 0 will, and if you find this PTR confusing, I'll just say ARR. It's one and the same. It's a array of pointers. That means I have 50,000 pointers, each of which is a pointer to a double. So likewise, PTR of I with the first pointer, PTR of 0 first pointer, PTR of 1 second pointer, PTR of 3 third pointer, and so on. To each of these pointer, I'm allocating an array of double, new double, 5 lakh. Each double says 10,000, 10 bytes. So 10 bytes into 5 lakh, that means huge amount of 50,000, 50 lakh memory is allocated for every pass. I'm going to print the address that I was successfully allocated. So let's run this particular code and see what happens. I'm going to create arrays. One after another, I'm going to create arrays. 50,000 arrays I would like to have. And all these arrays are successfully being created. So let's see how many arrays gets created. And every time it's a note, every time it's a different address. Huh? Every time it's a different address. And the system has crashed. Here, run failed. After 6 seconds, the program has crashed. So what I'll also do is, here I also print the value of I so that we know how many passes did it work successfully. Yeah? So I'll just say over here, array number I. So I'll just also show you how many arrays were successfully being created. Let's also run this program one more time and see what happens. Yeah. So how many arrays are being created? Let's see. We are actually expecting 50,000 arrays. $19 arrays got created only. Yeah, array number 19. Oh, it has printed in hex. It has printed in hex. Let me write on a separate line. See out. Array number I. Let me print this in decimal. Manipulators. BC simple. I'm going to print this in decimal. And the next output, that's the address that is put in hex. So what I'm doing is just going to print array decimal way. How many arrays have been created? Let's have a look at it now. Statement. Oh, should take care. Let's run this code. Array got created. 6,000. 6,500 arrays I got created. We had 50,000 pointers. So if there are 50,000 pointers, we are actually expecting 50,000 arrays to be created. But 50,000 arrays did not get created. Only 6,000 arrays have got created at different location. Note each addresses must be different. This 47, this is 4B, this is 4F, 53, 57, and so on. So only this many arrays have got created, and the program has crashed. Note these two statements did not even get executed. The program just crashed at somewhere in between after creating 6,000 arrays. And this time around, let's see how many arrays are getting created. Around 6,500 arrays is being created, and the program is getting crashed. Run failed. The program is getting crashed. We do not want such kind of things to happen. We'd like to handle this particular situation, and there is always a possibility that such a thing may happen. When you try and create an arrays, when you're trying to allocate memory, you may run out of memory. And if you run out of memory, in that case, we would like to handle that particular situation of out of memory. So let's see as to how this situation of out of memory can actually be handled. Let's see. I don't want the program to crash. I want user to understand what is the cause of the failure. So I have various handlers that I have written. Okay, here I go. Just for those who do not know what's a pointer to a function, how do I read this? I say ptrf is a pointer to a function which can point to a function whose return type is void and which takes in parameter which is also of type void. Let's look at this memfail exit. Memfail exit function का design कैसा है? Its return type is void. Sorry, its return type is void. It does not take in a parameter. So we have now defined a pointer to a function, which does not return anything and which does not take in any parameter. Suppose this function का signature was int comma char. Suppose, okay, and return type was suppose float. Suppose it is a function which takes in float as a return type is float, takes integers and character as an argument. Assume if that was the case, would I define this particular pointer? I would have said return type of that function is float, and that function takes in two parameters, int comma char. So this pointer can now point to any such function whose return type is float and which takes in two parameters, the first type of integer and other type character. That's how simple pointer to functions are. So we have now created a pointer to a function. We have this function whose return type is void and also does not take in any parameter. All memory handlers have to be exactly in the same fashion. Let me comment rest of the code for you for a moment. And normally if I have to call this particular function, suppose if I had to call this particular function memfail exit, the only way to call this particular function memfail exit till now what we know is we'll have to say memfail exit. That's how you call a function. I'm going to call that function in this fashion. I'm also going to call the function in some other fashion. Let's call the function in this particular fashion, the traditional way as we call, and let's see whether that function gets called. It says insufficient memory and the program has stopped. How did it say insufficient memory? Because we went over here, it said printed insufficient memory and then we said exit failure. That means we have stopped the program. Okay, but point that is what we are trying to discuss is how to call a function. This is one way to call a function. Traditionally, we have been doing that. Now I have a pointer which is pointing to such function. Whenever you want address of function, never follow it with parentheses. Round brackets nahi chahiye. So I said ptr is a pointer to a function. Round brackets mein dala hai, which can point to any function whose return type is void and which does not take in any parameter. Call kar raha hu, ptr of f, chal jayega. Same function will get called. Insufficient memory, same function has got called. Let's continue with that discussion now. Now, what am I going to do? Watch it very, very carefully. Yeah? Simple operations. I'm going to say word star get new handler. We saw set new handler. Now I'm saying get new handler. Now, what is this set and get new handler? What's the difference? I get new handler. Just set new handler will allow you to set the current new handler. Get new handler will give the current handler, whoever the current handler is address we are going to get. We are going to get address of a function. Huh? That means address of that function, which should get called whenever allocation of memory fails in an application. Which is the function that should get called? That function's address is what we are going to get. Okay. So I'm just going to say get new handler. Huh? Let's trace this code. Watch it very carefully. It's a bit advanced feature I'm going to discuss for you all now. Here I go. I say hex print the address. I'm saying get new handler. Get new handler function returns a new handler. Can you see that? New handler, whichever is the new handler that has been set. And that new handler is nothing but a function whose address we are going to get. But I have not set any handler. Since I have not set any handler, it should possibly give address as 0. That means by default, there is no handler that has been specified. When I say there is no handler that has been specified, means by default, we have not specified which is the function that should get called when allocation should fail. By default, there are no handlers. By default, there are no handlers. Here I go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to print address of this function memfail recover. Okay, I'm going to print address of a function. There is a function called as memfail recover. There is one such function that I have. Okay, and that's also void. Nothing in C++ is void. Okay, memfail recover. I'm going to print address of that particular function. I print the address of the function. Let's see what's the address of that function. It's 0x1004011.8c. That's the address of that particular function. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this particular function memfail recover as my new handler, set new handler. I set it. If you look at the signature of the set new handler, it takes a new handler. Okay, and this is my new handler. New handler can be any function whose return type is void and does not take in any parameter. So I set this particular function. I'm trying to explain you something, and now I say get new handler. Now, moment I say get new handler, did we get the same address? That is what I wanted to show you here right now. That means you can set a handler. Get new handler gives you address of the current handler. Set new handler will allow you to specify a new handler. Whichever is the handler that you pass, उसका एड्रेस अगर आपको देखना है तो गेट न्यू हैंडलर से आप उसका एड्रेस देख सकते हो. दैट्स हाउ सिंपल एंड स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड इट इज. ओके, नाउ माय फंक्शन इज मेन फेल exit, and that's going to be my first handler. And why we do not know anything, this is the safest way to go ahead. What is this main fail exit function doing? Anytime this function gets called, and when is this function going to get called? We are now going to automate. Note, in this particular program, I'm not going to write that if condition, if ptr equal to null, and agar failure हो चुका है क्या नहीं. No more checking, cluttering your code with that if condition every now and then. No more the case now. I have designed an architecture in such a fashion that anytime in the application, if the memory allocation fails, this function should automatically get called. So we have designed that thing in such a fashion. So when I say, whenever allocation fails, it's going to print a message saying insufficient memory, error string, and then program ko exit karega. Because we do not know any other mechanism to continue. The other choice to continue is you make memory available. And I do not know how to make memory available. So currently I don't know. I will show you that also. But assume currently हमें मालूम नहीं कैसे memory available कर सकते हैं additional. So here we go. Let's trace this code once again. Step by step. Trace नहीं करते, run करते directly. So I print the address. I print the current handler. Current handler by default is nobody, so 0. मैंने main fail exit का address print किया. Main fail exit को set किया as a handler और check करते वो set हुआ है कि नहीं है. For that I give a call to get new handler. If I get the same address again, that means that address has now been set. I take a pointer now. P1 is a pointer. What type of pointer it is? It's a pointer to a character. Char star ptr. Look at that. Pointer कैसे define किया है? Char star P1. So it's a pointer to a character. It's a pointer to a character. Now since it's a pointer to a character, I allocate new char this big an array. Random, some large value, because I want my program to fail. Let's see our program fails or whether it succeeds. Okay, so we're going to allocate some memory. And if this allocation is successful, it will proceed further and print the address. And if it has failed, then we are expecting this function to get called automatically. It should not go to the next line. Neither should the program crash on its own by saying program crash. No, it should print a message telling the user what was the reason for the failure, and then the program should stop. This is the simplest handler that we can define, where we tell the user allocation has failed and let's stop the program and so on. So let's trace this code from this point. Because we are allocating a huge array. Here we go. By default, initial handler कौन है? कोई नहीं है. By default, initial handler कोई नहीं है. Then I print the address of memfail exit, that function's address we have seen. Then I set it as a new handler, and I print get the handler now. Now my handler is the same function. Okay, so my handler is the same function. So I got it. I say hello world. Okay, just like that. Some statement I had to write, so I say hello world, and I create an array. Now it's a huge array that we are trying to create. Okay, we move further. That means this allocation has been successful, and since it's allocation successful, this array has got created starting from this address. So huge array is what we have created. Note, we have created a huge array. These many characters का एक array हमने create किया. These many bytes का एक हमने array create किया. And that's a huge number that is there. But okay, that much memory is available. So we have this pointer to a character which can store address of a variable which is of type char, because that's how we had defined this particular pointer, char star ptr. That's how we had defined this particular pointer. And this pointer is of type char star. It's pointing to the base address, and starting from that address, there is some data. उसमें 0 stored है and nothing null. Luckily, it has been initialized. Okay, let's assume that there was some other operation that we did, and later we try to create one more array. P2 क्या है? P2 is also a pointer to a character that I have defined. So I say new char, another array. अरे एक काफी नहीं था इतना बड़ा array, तो I'm creating one more array. अगर ये भी operation successful हो जाता है तो यहाँ आ जाओगे, और नहीं होता है तो stop हो जाएगा code वहीं. Let's trace this code. Let's see what happens. Does it go to line number 80 or C? यहाँ भी कुछ नहीं है, यहाँ भी कुछ नहीं है. Let's see what happens. Let me trace it once again. The program has crashed, stopped. That means at this particular place, the program has actually stopped. Okay, let's run this code directly and see what's happening now. Okay, initial was 0. Address of that function. This was the handler now set hello world. पहला वाला create हुआ, अगली बार insufficient memory, and then the program is stopped. So we have terminated the program, but before we terminate the program, insufficient memory कहाँ लिखा है हमने? We have written this statement insufficient memory over here. Okay, the array cannot be created, whatever it is, memory cannot be allocated. Insufficient memory, this method, insufficient memory I'll say on system heap, just to show you that this is the function that is automatically getting called. We have not specified anywhere that this function has to be called. क्या कहता है? Insufficient memory on system heap. Can you read that message? Insufficient memory on system heap and the program has crashed. So program has crashed, that's okay. We have terminated the program by calling function exit. But before that, we have intimated to the user what was the reason for the program to terminate. It was because enough memory was not available. So that's a simple handler we have created. That's a simple handler that we have created. That's a simple handler that we have created. Is that okay? Okay. No questions? Let's go ahead. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my handler. I'm going to change my handler. Let's not print these addresses. Now that we know what the purpose of addresses are, let's comment this code. Okay, we are no longer interested in these addresses now. So let's comment out this code because we know what the purpose is. I'm just going to change my handler. I'm just going to change my handler. I'm just going to change my handler. I say memfail return. There's another function that I'm going to call memfail return. Very careful, huh? Watch it. इसके फंक्शन में डिजाइन में चेंज क्या है? It says CRR insufficient memory and return. अरे so what's the big deal? The previous function, this function, what difference does it make? So let's see what difference does it make. In the previous function, we said exit failure, and in this particular function, we are saying return. We are saying return. Listen to me now very, very carefully. Yeah? What's going to happen? Now here we go. Since we know the case now, we will set the handler. Handler का address आ जाएगा. First allocation we knew it is successful. उसका address आ जाएगा, that will get printed. And we knew that second allocation is failing because अपने heap पे इतनी memory available नहीं है. When it fails, handler is going to get called. This time around my handler is this particular function. यहाँ जाएगा, यहाँ ये statement print करेगा, insufficient memory statement print करेगा, and return कहेगा. Now where will it return? Where was it given? On which line was it given a call? इस पूरे प्रोग्राम में इस फंक्शन को कहाँ से कॉल किया गया? So it will get into infinite loop. It will return. So if I say return in my function, that transfers the control back to the place in the function from where you had given a call. And since it transfers the control back to the place in the function from where you had given a call, it will again make an attempt to satisfy the request. And in our case, every request is going to fail, and your program will run into an infinite loop. Okay, it got into infinite memory. यानी पहला सब कुछ हो चुका था. पहला एरे क्रिएट हुआ. P1 एड्रेस वाज क्रिएटेड. सेकंड के लिए फेल हो गया. फेल होने पर उसने हैंडलर को कॉल किया. हैंडलर में गए, insufficient memory message print किया, वहां हमने रिटर्न कहा है. That's a poor design. If I say return, we go back, and you go back and you do what? Again make an attempt to satisfy the request. So if you plan to go back, it is your duty that if you're planning to go back and make an attempt once again, तो दोनों में से एक काम कीजिएगा. Either reduce your request or allocation memory one, और make more memory available on the heap. दोनों में से कुछ तो एक काम कीजिएगा ना. heap पे फिर memory available करके दीजिएगा या रिक्वेस्ट कम कर दीजिएगा. दोनों भी नहीं कर रहे और वहां जाके वही रिक्वेस्ट दोबारा दोगे. n number of times you make the same request, your request is always gonna fail. That was a problem. So here I have said memfail return. It's a poor design. Why? Because no provision has been made for new to succeed. ये न्यू सक्सेसफुल होने के लिए कुछ ऐसा हमने प्रोविजन बिना किए हुए ही यहाँ से रिटर्न कर रहे. अगर आप रिटर्न करने वाले हो, then make some provision so that the next request can succeed. Now before I go ahead with that, let me take one more function. We have another function called as memfail exit verbose. ऐसे ही डिफाइन किया है. इसमें कोई यूज केस नहीं है इसका, but just for some sake I have done it. Look at this. Here again ये सक्सेसफुल हो जाएगा. Like always we know 75 लाइन सक्सेसफुल हो रहा है हमारे केस में, और यहाँ ये फेल हो रहा है हमारे केस में. We know that, but I have just done some interesting things. तो ये प्रोग्राम रन हो रहा है. Somewhere is gonna fail, and wherever it fails, what's happening? ये कहा error, insufficient memory. कौन सा प्रोग्राम फेल हो रहा है? ये वाला प्रोग्राम फेल हुआ है. कब फेल हुआ? ये वेडनेसडे अप्रैल 8 17:37. ये देखो मेरे मशीन में वही टाइम है 17:37 आ गया 17:37 39. तो 2 सेकंड हो गए. ओके, द प्रोग्राम 2020 में ये प्रोग्राम फेल हुआ. सो सम मोर इन्फॉर्मेशन इज व्हाट आई हैव प्रिंटेड. ओके, नॉट वेरी अप्रोप्रिएट, बट दिखाता हूँ आपको क्या किया. We can actually change it by using date and time classes in Java, in C++ as well. यहाँ क्या किया मैंने? यहाँ गया, I printed error, insufficient memory. I say program _ file __. Now why is this needed? Let me tell you. When you develop application, your application will not have a single file. Your application will comprise of multiple files, and the program crashes. While the program is running, are you anytime in which file within the program is running internally? No. But for a debugger, somebody who's going to maintain that particular code, he should be knowing, array, application was collection of programs, out of which program was failed, that you should know. Underscore file can give, it's a predefined macro that will give you address of that particular function. So that is the that has actually failed. That's the program file. File ka naam kya hai? Working.cpp. So it's giving me time as working.cpp. I would like to know the system time. So note what I have included a header file called as ctime. Just see, for the first time we are doing that. I have included a header file called as ctime, from which I call this particular function called as time. Time may I pass null. Now if I pass time may null, it will give me a time underscore t का एक object, and that will have my current time. अब ये current time आ गया, but ये current time printable form में नहीं रहेगा, because ये structure t time जो है, ये type def this as this, ये t time जो है कहाँ गया? It's just a long value. एक नंबर लॉन्ग वैल्यू से मुझे डेट टाइम आवर मिनट सेकंड कहाँ से पता चलेगा? इट्स जस्ट अ सिंगल नंबर, बट देयर इज सम मैकेनिज्म वेयर इट स्टोर्स द सेकंड्स, एंड दैट सेकंड्स कॉरस्पॉन्ड्स टू योर टोटल नंबर ऑफ सेकंड्स बताएगा फ्रॉम पर्टिकुलर टाइम, इनिशियल टाइम. तो उससे हमें आज का टाइम कैसे पता चलेगा? टू डू दैट वी हैव अनदर फंक्शन कॉल्ड एज सी टाइम. इन दिस फंक्शन सी टाइम, इफ आई पास अ वेरिएबल, दे जो टी टाइम टाइप का वेरिएबल, उसका एड्रेस अगर आप पास करोगे तो नाउ इज अ वेरिएबल ऑफ टाइप टाइम अंडरस्कोर टी. Okay, that's the structure. उसका एड्रेस पास करोगे तो you will get your time in character string format. तो constant char star, yes, char star. तो it returns, का return type देखते हैं char star. So it returns you a pointer to a string, and that string is what I have printed. So it will tell you whenever we reach this particular place, that's the time it's going to tell you. We also macro called as time underscore that we could have used, but not very useful. Reason for that is it gives you a time when the program was compiled. अरे program compile आज करोगे, 2 साल के बाद program run करोगे तो 2 साल पहले वाला date time print करेगा. We don't want that. We want the current system time. So this is a mechanism to get current system time. This is the mechanism to get current system time in seconds. This is the mechanism to get current system time in terms of string, so that it becomes readable. And that's what I have printed. So, and then I said exit failure. That's okay. So this was a bit better than the first version, because it is not just giving an error message. It is also telling which is the file that has failed. It is also telling the time when the file has failed. So for a person who's going to maintain your application, this is quite a wealth of information. So this is a better way to terminate your program. This is not the best choice. The best choice would have been, I wanted this to succeed. And मैं कह रहा हूँ बिकॉज ऐसा भी हो सकता था, ये आपने एरे किया है, इसकी जरूरत यहाँ से लेके यहाँ तक थी, and in case you fall short of memory, there was no harm in releasing this array or reducing the size of this array. If I reduce or if I delete it, then इसके लिए memory तो बन जाएगी. So I have one more function that is available, one more handler that is available. So let me take one more handler, and that's going to do the magic for us. What am I going to do? I have mem fail recover. I have one more recover. So that's the handler that I'm going to set. Now when I set this memfail recover, what's going to happen? यहाँ गए, उसका address print करेंगे, first request that we made, and we know this request was satisfied, address print किया. यहाँ गए, we know this was going to fail. Fail, ये recover वाला function call होगा. Does it do? And then I'll explain. पहला ये आपका उस memfail recover का address है, वो क्या यहाँ पे create हुआ. When we made a first request, it says request for allocation did not succeed. अरे succeed नहीं हुआ तो हमने क्या किया? Freeing memory that is no longer required. P2 बाद में successful हो गया और finished execution तक आ गए, and program continued without any problem. यानी first time when we made allocations that succeeded, we printed that address. Second time when we made request that failed, but fail होने पर P2 address P2 का print भी हो गया. इतना ही नहीं, नीचे आके we have also printed finish execution and set new handler को reset भी कर लिया to 0. Everything has happened perfectly. How did this happen? For that we need to look at the handler. If I show you the handler, what have I done? Inside this handler, assume it's very simple code किया मैंने. पहला ये message print किया, and then I say delete square bracket P1, जो pointer P1 जहाँ point कर रहा था, शायद उसकी हमें जरूरत नहीं है. Assuming that scenario, simplistic scenario, तो उसे delete किया, उसमें P1 में null store कर दिया, तो जो पहला array create किया था उसे release किया, because दूसरा successful करना चाहते थे, and suppose for some reason simplistic purpose P1 की हमें जरूरत नहीं थी, तो I have released that particular array, and then I say return. So when the first array has been destroyed, yani you have made more memory available on the heap. If we have made more memory available on the heap. Now since we have made more memory available on the heap, okay, since we have made more memory available on the heap, this particular statement will now succeed. and it has succeeded. That's the reason address got allocated. And then I'm checking P1 null नहीं है क्या? और P1 तो ऑलरेडी हमने null सेट किया है, तो उसे डिलीट करने की जरूरत ही नहीं है. अरे P2 null नहीं है, बिकॉज P2 में अभी नया ब्लॉक ऑफ मेमोरी का एड्रेस है, तो P2 अगर null नहीं है तो उसे रिलीज कर लिया. एंड देन वी सेड फिनिश एग्जीक्यूशन एंड वी हैव स्टॉप्ड. एंड नोट एट द एंड आई हैव सेड सेट हैंडलर 0, बिकॉज इस प्रोफाइल में से बाहर जाने पर I would like to reset the handler. Why am I resetting the handler? Let me explain you. Your application has 4-5 files. Yeah, hundreds of files. And फाइल 1 में आपने मेमोरी एलोकेशन किया है और उसको हैंडल करने का तरीका अलग है फेलियर को. एंड फाइल 10 में आपने मेमोरी एलोकेशन किया है, उसको हैंडल करने का तरीका अलग है. एंड इन योर एप्लीकेशन इफ यू सेट द हैंडलर वंस, it will remain system wide. That means in any other file, if the memory allocation fails, the same handler will get called. So in every programmer's duty that if you define a handler, make sure that you reset the handler at the end of your file itself, source code itself. That means if some other programmer sets a handler in his part of the program, that handler will come into action. So we need to reset the handler and set it to default 0. That means nothing to be done if the allocation of memory fails. Set handler comes from this new. There are very few functions which are available in this new. Let's see what other things are there in this new. There is one class called as badalloc, whose example I will give now. Okay. Then bad array length. Okay, there is something no throw. There are very few. And your new handler. Look at that new handler. Okay, how is this new handler? Return type is void and does not take in any parameter. ऐसा ही handler चाहिए. और set new handler भी यही define किया गया है. Get new handler भी यही define किया गया है. There are very few things which are there inside this. Okay, बाकी फिर new delete constructors वो सारे operator new and operator delete उसके वो code. Okay, pair. Thank you all. So we stop here today and we continue with a further discussion. Next session is again going to be a deep dive into some advanced concepts.